What's good, family? It's me, Game Boy, back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about wisdom and virtue. I hear a lot of talk about wisdom from people who lack wisdom themselves. If I were to ask you right now, what is wisdom? What would your response be? Let me know in the comments. A lot of people get wisdom mixed up with intelligence. So the traits that they use to describe an intelligent person, be it speaking clearly, speaking properly, dressing nice, having your shirt tucked in, is young Pharaoh would say, having your Malcolm's on. Shout out to the God. They use those to describe, being wise or having wisdom, but that really don't got nothing to do with wisdom. If anything, how you attempt to look wise says more about how your parents may have acted rather than whether or not you actually possess wisdom or not. Lucky for us, the ancestors actually left behind a very clear definition of what wisdom is. And they said that wisdom is the good. So if you know what the good is and you know how to achieve it, then you have wisdom. Using this definition, moment by moment, we can judge whether or not a person has acted wisely or not by deciding or, by seeing if they've chosen the good or not. Food is good. If I decide to deliberately stop eating and I starve and I die, then I have acted unwisely. Duh. Also, sex is good. If I decide I'm about to have sex with a woman, then I wait 30 minutes, go have sex with another woman, wait 30 minutes, go have sex with another woman, wait 30 minutes, go have sex with another woman. God forbid I don't use a protection. I've exceeded the good. That's also unwise. In every instance, wisdom consists of finding the sweet spot between extremes. And this sweet spot is known as the golden mean. There are 4 particular golden means described by the ancients as virtues or strengths that a wise person would develop. And they are temperance, prudence, courage, and justice. A lot of life's problems are simply the result of a lack of wisdom, and can be changed by a simple change in the way that you think. And I'm gonna prove it to you. Watch. The first virtue I said was temperance, or saphrosine in Greek. Translated, that's temperance in English. In 4 words, temperance is know what is enough. We live in a culture where it's normal to eat 2,000 calorie burgers. They teach you to eat 3 meals a day. You know what I'm saying? They ask you, do you want to make that a large for free or for 50 cents? Under these circumstances, temperance is one of the hardest virtues to develop. The consequences for not developing these virtues is everything that you see going on in the world today. We know that obesity is a huge problem in America. We know that diabetes is, rampant in the black community. In the city where I'm from, people is greedy. My friend just got done telling me about her twin sister stealing from her. Her twin sister stealing from her, and I don't want to curse, so I'm gonna say she says she don't F with her no more. Her twin, you know what I'm saying? Stole from her on some greedy shit. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, with a change of mind, like with knowing what's enough for you, all these problems would correct themselves. One way to develop temperance is to fast or go without something that you overindulge in for a set amount of time. Another thing you could do is take something that you overindulge in and give yourself a fourth of it. So let's say you eat a lot, you got a plate of food, eat a fourth of what you would normally consume. Or if you watch too much TV, let's say you watch 2 hours of TV, watch 30 minutes, take your ass outside for the last hour and 30 minutes. The last way to develop temperance is to find new pleasures. Let's say you find pleasure in going out. You've been going out every week or every weekend for the last month. This weekend you decide to stay at home and read a novel. Find something that you like to do. New pleasures. You might actually enjoy staying home and reading a novel. And now you've developed the temperance. You can say like, okay, I don't have to always go out. I can stay at home and read sometime. In a way, that's temperance. Lastly, I want you guys to take note of the fact that temperance isn't the absence of joy. On the contrary, it's knowing how much you can take in and enjoy and how much you can't. The next virtue is phronesis, or prudence in English. A better translation would be practical wisdom or situational wisdom, because it starts with the understanding that an action that's acceptable in one place might not be acceptable in another. For example, let's say you're going to meet your significant other's parents. You're not going to act how you would act at your parents' house, at your significant other's parents' house. You're going to act like you actually want them to care about you if you got some phronesis. You feel me? Real talk. Or it might be the last time you see that person. Another way to look at it is the virtue of perception. A lot of the times you might not see things as they really are because you blinded by preconceptions, and this virtue is especially useful when we analyzing our own right and wrong. Let's say I'm looking at myself, I'm doing some introspection, and I notice that I have a tendency to lie. And I ask myself, am I a liar? If I say yes, then my perception is my reality, and I relinquish all power to change that. But if I ask myself, am I a liar, and I say, okay, I've lied, but you know what I'm saying, I look at the situation, maybe I ain't want you in my business. Yes, I'm wrong for lying. So I'm gonna try on my part to not lie, come up with a different solution. But at the same time, like, I'm not no liar. Look at the situation. Also, on the other end of the spectrum, you could have some good qualities, but you could be beating yourself up. Still not seeing still having negative preconceptions about, and this, it could be about yourself too. So in that case, if I'm thinking badly about myself, it don't matter what anybody around me telling me. They could be telling me I'm the best person in the world, but if I don't believe it about myself, again, your perception is your reality. It's not gonna mean anything. The third virtue is Andrea, or courage. Ultimately, courage is disregarding what isn't important. Virtue number 2, phronesis, having a proper perception, teaches us that our physical body is nowhere near as important as our soul, and that we are free to choose our actions even if that freedom is constrained. That's what Kanye said. Courage is what makes us take a stand even at the cost of a job or even our lives, because courage understands that our values are infinitely more important than our jobs and our lives. And it's not always a life or death choice. Courage is also how you deal with your daily difficulties and the pains of life. Do you crack under pressure? Do you allow yourself to feel bad and suffer, or do you confront your problems head on? Courage is a really good example of the golden mean, because you never want to be a coward, but you also don't want to be some hot-headed, hot-blooded fool rushing to your demise. Finding the golden mean requires practice and awareness of what you value and why. The fourth and final virtue is dikaiosune, or justice in English. It's more accurately translated as fairness or charity. It's pretty much just the sweet spot between thoughtless, tactless vengeance and absolute clemency, although on that spectrum is a little bit closer to clemency. Okay, family, as a quick recap, wisdom is knowing the good, how to achieve it, and actually taking action to achieve it. Also, there are 4 virtues or strengths that the ancients believed every wise person would attain. And those four virtues are temperance, prudence, courage, and justice. Temperance is the sweet spot between complete abstinence and overindulgence. Prudence, on one end, you got a person who, you know, doesn't listen at all or cares to listen. And on the other end, you got somebody who think they know everything. They got their eyes covered, ears blocked, yelling la 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 la, not listening at all. Ultimately, you want to have the proper perspective. Courage is the sweet spot between being a complete coward and being just foolhardy, hot-blooded, rushing to your demise. You want to be in the middle, find the golden mean. And lastly, you have justice. And justice is, proper justice is the sweet spot between tactless vengeance, Sasuke Uchiha, and clemency, mercy, that type of thing. With that being said, family, get to know these virtues, find the golden mean within yourself. In the next video, I'm going to be building off of these concepts and sharing with you an exercise that's going to give you a firmer sense of who you are and your values and strengths as a person. So subscribe if you want to see that. With that being said, keep rising. Have yourself a good one. Peace.